Canadians over-index in crypto. We're a big part of the ecosystem, despite being a small-ish population. And a lot of that innovation kind of started in Canada, then unfortunately left, and a lot of it's gone to the US, a lot of it's gone to UAE, and it's going to be hard to bring that energy back.
Yeah. So explain to me what ReserveOne is. And I asked the question knowing what it is, having spoken to Sebastian and of course spoken to you before, but it is different than the flurry of digital asset treasuries we're seeing now in the US and Canada and elsewhere, isn't it?
It is completely different.
Okay.
So we are the only diversified digital asset treasury company.
Okay.
So 80% Bitcoin, 20% alts, initially looking at Ethereum, Solana, ADA, and XRP, inspired by the digital asset stockpile. So those are the tokens that the Fed has said they intend to maintain in the digital asset stockpile, in addition to what they're doing with the strategic reserves.
Okay.
We are employing an active strategy. So Sebastian, who's been on your show before, is our chief investment officer and president. He's the former president of Coinbase Asset Management, and he's really responsible for driving the yield program, generating returns from the assets where we hold them on our balance sheet. Important as a public company, we want to generate returns to help cover the overhead of the company and not be dependent on capital markets activities to fund overhead. And then we also have built in the optionality to allocate up to 10% of our AUM to private market venture opportunities. And so really giving investors exposure, not just to the tokens that we hold, but to private market projects that we think are really interesting coming into the crypto.
Which means you're supporting these projects as well. It's kind of a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
And so what are your picks then? How do you pick? What are your criteria?
We've got a lot of optionality in what we look at. I mean, 10% of, somewhere between $800 and $1 billion is what we expect to have in close. That's a big number. It gives us a lot of flexibility for the types of projects that we could look at.
Yeah. As a former Bitcoin miner, and if you think about the Bitcoiners, we were just at the Bitcoin conference in Montreal a couple of weeks ago. What's the response of the Bitcoin community to digital asset treasuries? Because you can see where I'm going, right? Some ask the same question to Sebastian. Some might say well, those are centralizing entities, but others will say, no, it's a bridge. Not everyone is going to buy Bitcoin and put it on their own cold wallet, right? So,
I mean, think about when I took over Hut 8 in 2020, the miners served a really important function within equity markets because they were the only way to get equity exposure to crypto.
Yeah.
So they basically served as a proxy for people that wanted to buy a stock.
Yeah.
It gave them exposure to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I think digital asset treasury companies, and in particular, what we're building a unique structure of what you built at ReserveOne, is taking that to the next level as far as giving broader industry exposure, but again, in an equity, which is where a lot of investors, especially as you're crypto curious, you're slightly older, you're slightly more affluent, that's where they're comfortable. They're comfortable working within the portfolios that they have today. So really, it's serving as a bridge between TradFi and digital assets.
Interesting. Any reaction to the announcement, budget 2025 yesterday in Canada? Finally, we've got stablecoin legislation, black on white. I think it's a little paragraph about this big, but how meaningful is that for Canada?
We've been off market. Really, Canada was looking at stablecoins as securities, which is problematic for a whole bunch of reasons. So I think them kind of following what we've seen in Genius is absolutely the right step forward. Finally, having even just the fact that we're seeing movement within the regulatory environment for digital assets in Canada, it's new. I mean, we haven't seen much coming out of the Fed in Canada over the last number of years.
Yeah, not even mentions of blockchain or crypto or digital assets. What do you think that will do, materially, over the coming months and maybe a couple of years?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think one property raise, which is sad as a Canadian. We were early, right? Ethereum was founded in Toronto. There are Canadians over-index in crypto. We're a big part of the ecosystem, despite being a small-ish population. And a lot of that innovation kind of started in Canada, then unfortunately left, and a lot of it's gone to the US, a lot of it's gone to UAE, and it's going to be hard to bring that energy back. But at least this is a start.
Yeah, I understand that you're a little bit of a pickle right now with the SEC. What's the situation? What's the scoop there?
Yeah, well, look, the government shutdown. I think we're in day 36, 37 now. The government shutdown in the United States. ReserveOne is based in New York, looking to go public, buy a SPAC and trade on the NASDAQ. That means we need SEC approval. Unfortunately, the SEC is also impacted by the government shutdown, so it's delaying our it's delaying our process.
Yeah, so you're in a bit of a holding pattern right now. Notwithstanding that delay, what's next for ReserveOne? Let's say in the new year, since we're 2 months out now.
Yeah, look, we're just super excited to get the deal closed. Obviously, we want to start trading through our ticker, which would be RONE, and get to work.
Very exciting. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Jaime.
Always great to be here.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.